Good afternoon, basketball fans, and welcome to a Monday afternoon edition of the Big D Podcast. Before I bring in today's special guest, please subscribe, like, share the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page. We're uploading more and more content these days, so please check it out. Usually you would see both of us from home, but joining us in her car from somewhere near St. Louis is my friend Mikala McGhee. Mikala was a college basketball player, first at Missouri State. Then I remember her at FGCU, where she played the 2017 NCAA tournament against Miami down the road in Coral Gables.
Yep.
And now,
Tragic loss.
and now, Mikala, like me, is a journalist. She is a reporter for what is it? At Fox 2 now in St. Louis.
Yep. Fox 2 News and KPLR.
Did I get everything?
You got yeah. I actually just started a nonprofit as well. So I guess you can say I'm a founder of a nonprofit called More Miracles STL. We focus on families. Just mending families through counseling, financial education, and activity. So getting people active out and really working on their mental, emotional, and physical health.
And I knew you would do something good with the community, Mikala.
Of course.
So talk about your basketball first. Do you remember your earliest? Do you have any early basketball memories when you were a kid?
Early basketball memories. Well, yeah, sports were my entire life growing up. I was always in a million different things, basketball included. So in high school, I played basketball, soccer, and softball, all at the varsity level. And then growing up in my, elementary and middle school days, I was a gymnast for several years. I got to an elite level, and then I quit because I started getting a little too tall, and they wanted me to quit my team sports. But I've done volleyball, basketball, soccer, softball. I even swam for a little bit. So I had a very well-rounded sports background, took some dance lessons just to see if I would like that, but I was just a really good athlete. So I stuck with the team sports. And in basketball, I guess I could say my best memory growing up with basketball was I got to play with basically the same group of girls my entire time in St. Louis, both in AAU and CYC, and just had an amazing time, like building those relationships and us all supporting each other, trying to get to the next level.
Yeah, in a way, because you almost became more like sisters because you were with the same group of girls year after year, so you all became closer and bonded together more than a group of girls for a few weeks or months at a time.
Yeah, well, I think that's with any team sport. Your team becomes your family. When you spend so much time with someone and you're really grinding day in and day out. And then I personally think, especially at that lower level, that, amateur level, I don't even know if college sports is considered amateur anymore, but, like high school and lower, especially when you're around girls who have a similar vision and similar goals of wanting to get to that next level of playing Division I, Division II, just a collegiate level. It just makes it so much more fun because everyone's competitive, everyone's working hard, and you just have that support system behind your back that is pushing you towards your goals.
Interesting. One thing that's changed the last few years is that people are becoming, instead of being versatile and playing all different sports, whether it be soccer, basketball, baseball, softball, whatever, people just focusing on one sport. Is that a mistake in a way?
I would not say it's a mistake. If you know which sport you are extremely, passionate about, and if that's exactly what you want to do, then I don't feel like there's one right or wrong way to getting to where you want to be. For me personally, I genuinely appreciated the opportunity of playing so many different sports because I felt like every sport gave me a different skill and a different strength, and it helped me develop different muscles and different coordinations, vision. They all helped me become an all-around great athlete. I think looking back, I might not have been the most skilled at any of the sports I played, but I was always one of the most athletic girls on, every team that I played on. So I think looking back, yeah, I would have liked to hone in more on my skill sets, but I had a lot of fun and I enjoyed playing all of those sports. And I do feel like they helped me get to the level that I was as a basketball player, soccer player, just as an athlete and as a person. So I personally don't regret it, but I do see why people are starting to kind of just get more sports specific, because you can really focus on skills and becoming a skillful player.
Yeah. Did you have any basketball role models?
Yeah, I loved Maya Moore. I always have. Watching her play, Candace Parker. Um, who else? I mean, obviously LeBron, Michael Jordan. I love Diana Taurasi. She's just been a beast. Her, since UConn, whenever I was watching her play, she was someone just with that tenacious personality who would do anything and everything for her team, and she was a bucket. So yeah, I'd say those were my top players. And then coming down the line, I really became a fan of Kayla McBride. She played at Notre Dame. I loved her game. I felt like me and her had very similar body types. So she was kind of someone who I would like to replicate my game after. Now she has a way better pull-up jump shot than me. She's way better in the mid-range than I am, but she was someone who I started watching around my freshman and sophomore year of college.
We all can't beat Chris Paul banging 15-footers every day of the week.
Right. You got to know your strengths.
Yeah, nobody can stop my floater game.
Oh golly, I might have to catch you when I get down in Florida.
Indeed. So now we transition to your college career. First off, you started at Missouri State.
Yeah.
Where you played how many? 2 years? 3 years?
I played 2 years at Missouri State, 1 year under Coach Nyla Millison, and then my sophomore year under Coach Kelly Jolly Harper.
And talk about that.
I absolutely loved Missouri State. It was a great atmosphere. I mean, it's one of the best, I feel like, supported women's programs in the country. Everyone loves the Lady Bears. And I feel like, with any freshman coming into a Division I program, I came in with 6 other freshmen. We were a big and new class. And it was, you have to learn the ropes. So my freshman year was a little bit frustrating. I felt like I was doing everything that I was supposed to do and needing to do, but not necessarily getting my opportunity. But I think that's one thing that freshmen have to learn as well, is like, there's girls who have been there for 3-4 years more than you, and they're supposed to be better than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to like strive to get to that level. And I think it can be tough for freshmen sometimes coming in, because you feel like you are doing everything right and like you should be getting these opportunities, but it's just not your time. And so that's kind of something that I struggled with my freshman year mentally, that I feel kind of hurt me a little bit down the line, but still I stuck with it, stayed with it. And then Coach Millison ended up moving on, and Coach Kelly Harper came in, and absolutely loved playing for her staff. They're now coaching at the University of Tennessee, where she went and won 3 national championships with Pat Summitt. So that was an excellent coaching staff that I enjoyed learning from and playing with. And I loved that style of play that she brought to the team. And I felt like I made strides that year and got a lot better. And I started playing more, and it was a really good atmosphere. But for me personally, just career decisions that I wanted to make future, outside of basketball, I kind of wanted to be in a bigger city. Because I was actually double majoring at the time. I was doing communications and sports management. So I was on track to graduate with 2 degrees, but I got to my sophomore year and kind of hit a crossroad of like, do I stick it out here at Missouri State, or do I transfer and go into a bigger city where I can, network and start, making plans for my future? So I made the very, very tough decision, and it was hard. It was not an easy decision to transfer. And I went to George Mason, where my freshman coach, Coach Nyla Millison, was coaching. And so I spent my redshirt junior and senior year there. I graduated from George Mason with my degree in communications, public relations. And then I did a post-grad transfer to Florida Gulf Coast, where I was able to start my master's and play my 5th year under Coach Smesko. And I absolutely enjoyed my time. And I always say, if I could go back from square one and end up at Florida Gulf Coast at first and spend my entire collegiate career there, I would have done it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I remember you at FGCU because, of course, being an FGCU alum, I've not just watched the FGCU women's basketball program for many years, but keep in touch with many of you.
Yeah.
So, obviously, Mikala, your best memory from FGCU was making the 2017 NCAA tournament where you lost a heartbreaking game against Miami. I'm not going to say how the game ended because I think we both know how the game ended.
Very questionable. Yeah.
Make that 2 very questionable calls.
Yeah, very, very questionable. But again, my time at Florida Gulf Coast University, I cherish very, very much. Just the girls who I played with, the coaching staff. I had Coach Smesko, Coach Chelsea Banbury, Coach Lyles. Who else was Mandy was there, and then Jenna. Oh my gosh, why can I not even think of her name right now? You guys know Jenna. Her last name.
Yeah, Jenna Cobb. I think she's.
Yeah, Cobb. Why could I not think of that? Yeah, and Jenna Cobb. And their coaching staff was amazing. My visit down there, I absolutely just knew I was going to be there. The vibes were amazing. I loved my teammates when I met them at first, and we just had fun. Like, we enjoyed each other. We were winning. It was a really good time. And again, like, I tell anyone who tells me that they're thinking about Florida Gulf Coast, I'm like, go there, because you will be so happy. I mean, you're going to be in a beautiful location. You're going to be around people who care about you, who care about your success on and off the basketball court, and who will do anything to help you get to where you want to be and accomplish your goals. And I would not say one bad word about Florida Gulf Coast University. I had an amazing time.
Well, let me tell you this. You've got beach, basketball, and raining threes. Other than that, I'm ready. I'm ready. Sign me up.
No, literally. And if you want to win, I think that's one thing. Another thing that recruits really need to look at. I mean, you can go to any program, but it's not fun when you're losing. So if you're going into a losing program, and of course you want to come in and help, turn things around for a university. So I'm not knocking that ambition whatsoever. But when you go somewhere, you want to be with a program and with a coach who knows how to win in a discussion. And we all know that Coach Smesko knows how to win. He gets girls who can come in and win ball games, and that's what makes it fun.
I also feel like FGCU, especially on the women's side, has done a great job with transfers because girls have got talent, but they didn't get a chance to play, whether it be at Ohio State, Ole Miss, or some of these other schools. And now all of a sudden, somebody like you or these players are now stars because they're finally playing and showing their talent.
Yeah, well, I also think getting into a system that fits them, I mean, that's huge for girls. I mean, if you're not comfortable in a system, or if it's a system that you don't necessarily understand, like, I can personally vouch, like, there's some systems where you just feel like you can't just hoop, and, like, be a basketball player. And I think that Coach Smesko's system, it has structure to it, but it also allows room for you to be a hooper, and make plays and make reads. And that's huge. And whenever you get that confidence back, when you get your swagger back, which is what a lot of people come to Florida Gulf Coast and do, is they get that that swag back to them, that confidence that really allows them to shine. And that's why they win.
Yeah, raining threes and winning 30 games a year are not very common at FGCU.
Yeah, I mean, it's wonderful. What Coach Smesko has done at that school is historical, literally. I've played for great coaches. I've played for amazing coaches. I mean, like I said, Nyla Millison was a great coach. She's won conference championships. She's gone to the tournament. She's been close to winning a, NIT. And Kelly Harper, who has won 3 national championships herself with Tennessee, who is an amazing coach, who has had a lot of success. But Coach Smesko is just different. And I don't know how to necessarily put that into words, but just his coaching style, the way he relates with his players, the way he plays to your strengths as a player, it's just he puts you in positions to be successful. And so if you're not successful, it's kind of on you. So you got to take a look in a mirror, a hard look in the mirror sometimes.
It's weird because you know what style FGC will play, and yet nobody has mastered it like Smesko's done.
Yeah, I mean, Smesko is a true, student of the game. Even though I would consider him an expert at this point, he always takes the time to learn, and he loves watching film. This isn't anything that no one knows already, but he enjoys watching basketball. He enjoys learning about basketball. He enjoys learning about new techniques and styles. And even though he stayed true to his I guess, form of basketball, he's always learning, which is why he's always ahead of the game. He's never going to be behind. He's going to know everything that each team that we are about to play is going to do. And, preparation is key. And he always is prepared for any and everything.
So after your college career was over at FGCU, now you are still playing professionally with your hometown team. Tell us about
that. Yeah, so it's awesome. I came back home and was kind of just figuring, I just finished my master's from Florida Gulf Coast University, and I was like, what am I going to be doing with my life? So I was trying to start finding a career and kind of what was next for me. But we do have a semi-pro team that plays here in St. Louis, and it's called the St. Louis Surge. We're part of the GWBA League, which stands for Global Women's Basketball Association, which is a growing league across the United States, where teams come together and they get great talent. I mean, these are Division I players who will play overseas at this point, who have had experience in the WNBA, and it probably didn't work out, and they come back down to this league. So it's great talent. I mean, this is talent you would see at a Division I level, and they just play against each other. And I happen to know the owner of the team here. She actually presented me my high school Athlete of the Year award in 2012, and she reached back out to me when she knew I was home, and she was like, hey, we're looking for some players, and she was also looking for some interns. So I was like, perfect. I did a dual role, and I was a communications intern as well as a rostered player, and I was able to get some work experience while still playing basketball. And I did my first year in 2019, and I was going to come back for 2020, but obviously the pandemic hit, so our season got canceled. And then so now, come 2021, I am rostered as a reserve player. So you mentioned earlier, I have a full-time career now as a reporter and sports anchor for Fox 2 News here in St. Louis, which I absolutely love. But because of my schedule at the station, I'm not available to make all of our away games with the St. Louis Surge. So I'm rostered if any of our main 10 girls get hurt, if they need someone to fill in, I'm available. I still practice with them in the mornings. We practice at 5:30 almost every single morning. So it's been a lot on my plate, but it's still fun. It's fun to be able to get back out, and still hoop, and great way to just get my day going with these girls. And our team has been very successful. We, I believe, are 7-1 in the GWBA right now. So we play every Saturday. We're adding into playoffs next weekend, which is going to be awesome. So I'm really excited for that. And on the games that I don't dress out, I get to commentate on the live stream. So I'm just working it all the way around.
Part-time basketball player, part-time broadcaster. Candace Parker won't have anything on you then.
The grind doesn't stop.
Yeah, so obviously being a sports anchor, you've been able to travel around St. Louis. What has been the one sport event that you have enjoyed the most in the Gateway City?
I'm not going to lie to you. I just went to, it's not in St. Louis, but this will be in 2023. I went to Kansas City, which is about 4 hours away from here. And I went to an MLS game over there for Sporting KC against the Miami FC or CF, I believe.
Miami FC.
Yeah. So, and I had a blast. It was so much fun. And it was one of the best times I've had. But also, I almost forgot to do this. I got the opportunity to cover the Olympic trials for the women's and men's gymnastics teams here that was held in St. Louis down in the Dome. So I got to, see like Simone Biles and Sunisa Lee. And then I, like all of the men's who are now over in Tokyo perform. And I got to cover it on, national news stations around the country. So that was a really, really awesome experience as well.
Yeah, was it odd looking at some of America's greatest gymnasts, knowing them how tall is Simone Biles? Like 4'11", 5 feet?
Yeah, she's really small. She actually comes up to my rib, it feels like. But she is an awesome person. I met Simone Biles outside of this competition as well. And she's just such a cool, down-to-earth, humble human being. And just being able to watch her in person and do these high-level, difficult skills that she's bringing into competitions was, I'm so thankful I got the opportunity to see it in person. That's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and who knows if she'll be returning to compete in the following years, because she's 24. This might be her last Olympics, and it was just a real blessing to be able to watch her do her thing.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing all the athletes you not just meet, but see them compete at the Olympics.
Yeah, and they did great. The women's team, they did absolutely wonderful for the preliminaries. So we'll see how they do on this second round, and hopefully we can get a lot of golds coming home.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I think it was actually, U.S. was second. U.S. women and second behind the, I don't know if we call them Russian Olympic Committee or just call them Russia.
Right.
So actually, that was the first time in a few cycles that the U.S. women failed to finish first in qualifying, but we know the meta rounds will be where it counts the most.
Yeah, absolutely. And, our women's basketball team, they're getting into the swing of things. Hopefully our men can turn some things around here pretty soon. So
can we get Bradley Beal out of COVID protocol, please?
I know, man. My heart hurts for him, and I know that has to just be so tough. These players work so hard, and then Bradley Beal is coming off of a phenomenal NBA season, scoring wise and just what he's done. So that has to suck. And I know he probably hates it. It just as a competitor, from a competitor standpoint, that just is the worst whenever you're like, okay, you finally made it to this point, and then it gets taken away from you for something so out of your control, such as COVID. So, our prayers and thoughts are with him. But the city of St. Louis loves Bradley Beal, and they're supporting him, and they know what he can do and what he would have brought to this team. And so hopefully he gets his opportunity again in the future. But yeah, they could really use him on this team this year.
Although St. Louis is not, although Jason Tatum's representing St. Louis for Team USA.
Yes, he is. And Jason Tatum, yeah, one of the best to come out of St. Louis. So, Jason Tatum's always going to do his thing. Hopefully he can help rally them back, get them a couple points going, moving forward so we can get in a good position. But yeah, Jason Tatum, Bradley Beal, hometown heroes.
Yeah, and so are you.
No.
So thanks for hopping on, Mikala, and we wish you all the best in your basketball and journalistic career, and hopefully we can see each other soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be down there August 6th to the 9th. So let's link up, grab some lunch.
I'll be glad to do that.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you for having me on, Dylan. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mikala.